Hello, 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 I'm back. I am back. This is ADG. Back doing a little bit of streaming again. Been pretty quiet recently. Not really been around much to do any practicing or online races or anything like that. Just to explain, I've got a kid on the way. It's not far away at all, a couple of weeks away if that, and it's just made me ease off the racing a little bit and just spend a bit of time getting the house ready and not being so committed to racing for when my little one pops along. So good morning, thank you for joining me if you have done. Today I'm just going to have a couple of ACC races, a Assetto Corsa Competizione. Just going to set up a couple of quick races, maybe a couple of different tracks, different cars. Just have a bit of fun, nothing serious, and at the same time have a bit of a chat about the MRC, the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, which will be back with us in a matter of weeks. Very popular championship and keeps growing in popularity season after season. And rightly so, because it's a really good championship. A lot of people enjoy it, a lot of people get involved, have done for a long time as well. So there's a lot of people that return every single season to carry on the racing, even though they might not spend a lot of time on Gran Turismo anymore. They still come back for the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship hosted by the Mature Racing Club. So we'll chat about that as well. That's my little intro out of the way. YouTube on my phone's taking forever, so I can't post a link. So just do bear with me for a minute or two until I get well and truly set up, and then we'll get started with a bit of fun, bit of racing. Hopefully I'll do alright, because I'm still yet to spend that much time on this game. It annoys me, this game, because I can't get online with it still, even though there's been an update. But we'll discuss that too. Finally, my YouTube's loaded up. Do bear with me, 2 more minutes and we'll be away. So that's everything done on my Telefonica. So get up the stream and get started. So before we get underway, I've set. No, I haven't. I thought I'd set it up for a quick race, but I haven't. So a quick race. There we go. Start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Race 10 minutes. That's fine. Like I said right at the beginning, probably do a couple of tracks, maybe even a different car or two as well. We start in 13th position, unlucky for some, probably for me as well. Opponent skill is 95, opponent aggressiveness is 95 as well, and then we've disabled the single make, so we'll hit go on that. So we'll go for a quick race. Don't think there's any qualifying, it's just straight into a race. Where do we go? We'll go to where they are this weekend. Circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain. That's where the F1 drivers are driving this weekend. We've got clear weather, dynamic weather, no, track status optimum, that'll be fine for a 10-minute race. Engine start automatic, that's the one that keeps killing me and ruining my races. So we'll leave that on automatic. Damage 100%, unlimited, brake temperature, yep. So, I think we're ready to go. So yeah, like I say, I'm just going to have a bit of a race, bit of a chilled out stream. Hopefully have some decent racing. I've done quite a lot of driving on this game, but I haven't actually done much racing, really. Or if I've done the career, I've qualified in first, so, or quite high up. So then I've ended up driving around on my own, even though I'm in a race. So it'll be interesting to see what I can achieve starting midway down the field in the Ferrari that I'm not that familiar with as well, so should be interesting. If nothing else, probably a few restarts as I tend to do. So just going for the aggressive setup, no messing about too much, and we'll get into it.
Stay double file.
Again, I apologise, I haven't been around much recently, hopefully you haven't missed me too much. I know there's other streamers and there's plenty of other people out there doing videos as well. Oh, just changed my wheel settings quickly, there we go. So it's not like there's no one streaming anymore, it's just obviously if you're a fan of me, which I don't know if anyone is, but if you are, what's happened here in front? What's happened here? Ah, there's been a spin. So what goes on here? We haven't even got to the bloody start yet. There's been a spin on the formation a little bit, on the rolling start for the last chicane, so I guess I have to restart. In fact, let's just, for the interest of humour, let's just see what happens. So everyone's just waiting for this car to turn around in front. It looks like a BMW that's spun going through the last chicane as we're all feeding through to start the race. Is he turning around? It looks like he's slowly moving, his rear wheels are moving. I think it might be a restart this. Let's see if it happens again on a restart. So we didn't even get to the start line before we had to restart that one. Through no fault of my own for a change. Oh dear. You might wonder why I stream this early in the morning as well. I know it's not the prime time for picking up 1,000 viewers. I do appreciate that, but I'm not too bothered. I've never been a YouTuber that's after huge amounts of views. I just do it for fun, and if people watch me along the way, then good. If not, then they're lost. So, we'll try again.
Go in double file.
Yeah, we'll get this race underway, and then I'll have a bit of a chat or give you my opinion of the upcoming MRC season, the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. Should be really good. I think we're in season 13 now, I could be wrong. I think it's season 13. Let's see if we get through it now. No, there's been another crash. There's been another crash. Oh my god, so they can't get through. The AI are really struggling to get through this last chicane, which means that none of us can actually start the race. I might have to pick a different track just so I can get this race started. Come on guys, sort yourselves out. Oh, they're off, they're away. Okay, it's this game broken in many ways, but it's awesome in other ways as well, so you kind of forgive it. I still can't get online on this game. I've been online on Billy Miller's server a few times, but every other time I've tried to jump online, it chucks me out with an error message. Come on, my tyres are going to be cold. Come on. So it's things like this. I'm just trying to do a quick race at Catalunya with a full grid of cars, and we can't even get to the start line before someone crashes. Oh, we're off, right, so we're miles behind already, we're not even down the last corner. It gives me a compromise line as well, so I'm ready for that.
You're on the left.
Here we go, we're through the last corner now, and away we go in the Ferrari. GT3 obviously, this game, all GT3 cars. Make sure we get to that apex. Run the second one a little bit too much there. The F1 cars in qualifying yesterday were flat out round there, which is unbelievable. It's quite a turn really, it's quite a corner. So to say they're absolutely flat out just goes to show what kind of downforce and grip those F1 cars have got, because I'm pretty sure it's not flat out in any other car other than an F1 car. Absolutely ridiculous to think they were going flat through there. So we're away, we're still in 13th place, 12th place, getting away from us a little bit. Let's see if we can do anything about it. Through the chicane for the first time. I do like Catalonia. I think I've done about 3 laps on this game on Catalonia, but it's a track that I'm very familiar with from other games. But every game does have its own little version, if you like. It's not quite the same as what you'd experience on another game. On this one, it's more the force feedback and the actual detail of the inclines and declines, the undulations of the track. Very, very detailed in this game. Feels like you're going downhill, feels like you're going uphill, whereas on other games it's just literally a visual thing. You see a hill, but it doesn't seem to make much difference, the actual racing or the speed or anything again. So someone's just pitted on the right side, giving me a position. So should be down into 12th now. 1 lap complete, not too bad an opening lap, but I've dropped off the guys in front, which is a bit of a concern. But then again, I haven't driven this Ferrari. Well, this is about as much of it as I've driven it, so I'm not going to be the fastest in it. See my throttle trace down at the bottom right hand side if you're into that kind of stuff, and braking as well. See how heavy and how hard and how long I'm on the brakes for and all that kind of stuff. Not that you want to be watching me and taking any advice, because as you can see, I'm just getting overtaken. I'm not very good.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
So I'll get into this race a little bit more and then we'll start waffling on about other things. On the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. Looking forward to it, as most people often do. Comes around every 4 months or so, maybe. I don't even know, but seems to happen a couple of times a year. Everyone gets together, and some people that haven't spoken to each other or raced together for a long time as well, all come back together as one big group and battle it out for 8 weeks, 16 different tracks. And we'll see who's the champion at the end. I'm lucky enough to have got myself into Fusion over the season, so I've worked my way up from the lower leagues into the highest league, the Premier League if you like, of the MRC, and it should be a really interesting championship this time round, because we've got some really, really good competition, really good drivers in and amongst the field. And some guys being promoted from the lower leagues up into Fusion as well, which will make it interesting. I know a couple of the guys, I've raced with them quite a bit. One, for example, being GT Deli B, he's in Fusion this season, and he certainly will not be making it easy for us guys that have already spent a season there, even though he's coming in as a newbie to Fusion, not to racing altogether. If you know Deli B, you'll understand that, and he's very fast. So that should be interesting. A couple of other new names coming in as well, which should give us a run for our money. But all in all, you go through the list, and there's just good driver after good driver. So I'm not saying, I mean, it's Fusion, so you'd expect that, but I mean, it looks like anyone could win it, kind of thing. There's not one person I'd put as a favourite, really. Oh no! Oh, caught the slide, but caught it too aggressively. And it spun round the other way on me. Let's get going again. Try not to get killed by the car coming through behind. So yes, you are here watching mediocre racing from me, but I'd say it's only a bit of fun. Catalonia's a tricky track on this game. It's like here, there's no clear braking point that I can use, that I'd normally use on other games. Wait, and there we go. hard when I'm in the left-hand car drive on this game. I find it hard to adjust the right-hand side of the car. Whereas if I'm in a right-hand side car, right-hand drive car, should I say, I find it a lot easier to judge where the left-hand side of the car is. Maybe because that's how I drive in real life and I'm just so used to being sat on the right-hand side. But I've noticed over a couple of sessions on this game that I really do it. If I'm on the in-car view, sat on the left-hand side of the car, I really struggle to judge where the right-hand side wheels are. But I don't really have that problem when I'm driving right-hand drive. So, something for me to get used to and adapt to. So yeah, going back to the MRC, it should be really good, not just Fusion. Obviously I think there's 7 different leagues. I could be wrong with that, it might even be 8, I forget now. There's a lot of people racing it, 144 people I think it is this time that have entered. So it should be a really good championship all the way through the different leagues, not just in the Fusion. Obviously that's the one I'm concerned with because that's the one I'm racing in. But there's good racing throughout the field in all the different leagues, so it should be a really good championship, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into Gran Turismo Sport just for that championship really. Not played a lot of it recently, in fact I was on it last night for about half an hour, but other than that, not played a great deal of Gran Turismo Sport, especially since this game's come out, and I've got slightly addicted to Warzone. It's still good fun. We're not hitting the dizzy heights of first place in this race, I don't think. We still give it a good hustle around the Catalunya track in the Ferrari. Don't feel bad this Ferrari, it's quite easy to drive to say I haven't driven it before. It's not giving me too much grief. I'm not getting the maximum out of it, but that all comes in time and practice. But for a car just to jump in and have a go in, it seems relatively straightforward and easy. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have done right now live, or if you choose to or tune in and watch this later, thank you very much. Do appreciate it, and I know I'm probably the most inconsistent video creator, YouTuber, whatever you want to. I don't really see myself as that kind of thing, but a streamer, probably the most inconsistent one out there. I do 10 streams in 1 week and then you don't see me for 2 months. So I need to up my game if I want to get any kind of popularity on YouTube. But at the moment it's just not that important in my life. I'm sure I'll find a bit of time to dedicate to it in a few months' time once our little kids popped along and we've got into some kind of routine. Oh, big slide to catch, losing the rear end there. Again, I know where I go wrong in this race. I'm just not smooth enough on with the steering a lot of the time. Missed the apex by a mile. So yeah, it should be really good. We've got quite a lot of streamers and YouTubers in the Fusion League as well. So we've got CJW Racing, which does a load of commentary over various different nights, various different race categories for different groups. Next Gen Racing, who does a lot for P1 as well. Go check out Chris CJW Racing on YouTube and Twitch, I believe. And then there's Chewy as well. Chewy is a 3 times Fusion champion, so he's the one to beat in theory. But I know he don't play a lot of Gran Turismo Sport anymore. I think he concentrates mainly on iRacing, so it's a completely different game. But still can't count him out. He certainly did well last season, and he's got his own YouTube and Twitch as well. I think his YouTube is Chewy F1. Go check him out as well. So there's quite a few of the guys in Fusion that are actually into making content as well about their own racing or racing that they're involved in one way or another. Oh, the back end there just gets out of line a little bit, so it takes a little correction into there. The flares have gone off now in the crowd. Now the leaders crossed over the line, finished the race. I'm in 17th place, miles back, only beaten 3 people. Started in 13th, so I've not even gained a place, I've gone backwards. And that's the way it goes, I guess. Not driven brilliantly, but I haven't driven that badly either. Apart from his spin. Oh, hello. There we go, 1 race down. That was quite good. I might play around with the AI settings, not to make it as challenging as possible, but to actually just make sure I have a bit of a race and a few overtakes, because at the moment it's quite hard to keep up with them. Nah, I just want to have a bit of fun at the end of the day. I'm not trying to become the fastest guy in the world on this game. That'll come in time. At the moment I just want to have a decent race. If you're new to me, my videos, and you're wondering what the hell I'm on about with the MRC Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, go check out the Mature Racing Club on Facebook. They're a really good group, really big group now as well. Plenty of different people on there, all sorts of levels of drivers. There's always something going on, people posting videos, pictures, practice lobbies going up all the time and all the rest of it. So if you're interested in league racing, you've never quite managed to suss out how you get into it, that's probably one of the easiest ways, is go to Facebook, check out the Mature Racing Club and get involved. Next Gen Racing as well, SimFX, there's a couple of them, but Mature Racing Club's a really good one to start with, gives you a feel of what it's all about. So anyway, that's pretty much that. We won't restart that race, we'll jump out. And we'll have a look at a different track. But yeah, there's a couple of things in sim racing at the moment that could be improved. There's a lot of people talking about the new Gran Turismo, but that's coming out on the next PlayStation console. So for those that aren't going to spend like £600 on the console when it first comes out, you're not really going to get to play that for a while anyway. So I think it's a bit of like false excitement almost, really, unless you're planning on buying, let's go to Nürburgring, unless you're planning on buying a PS5 straight away, then it's you're not going to be able to play it. So what else? Well, let's have a look. What else can I try? I've had a quick go in this Lamborghini last week, I think it was. I actually really enjoyed it. It was I don't really like Lamborghinis on other games, but in this I really liked it, so I'll go with that. Give it a go around the Nürburgring. Again, not promising anything special here because I'm just not good enough. Let's turn that AI difficulty down a little bit. Let's put it down to 90 and see if it helps me out at all. Might have a chance of overtaking someone then. So my personal best lap round here is a 1:59.613, which sounds relatively quick until you look at the real record, which is a 1:56.385. So I'm about 3 seconds off. More than 3 seconds off, actually. Yeah, a lot of improvement to do around here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another thing to touch on is that racing is actually back. Real life racing is actually back. So last couple of weekends, obviously the Formula 1 started a good month or so ago, but the other like more domestic series like the British Touring Car Championship, for example, is back up and running. I mean, they've had 2 races at Brands Hatch already, and was it Brands? Oh, Donington. Either way, they've had 6 races altogether in the British Touring Car Championship. I believe it's on this weekend as well, or next weekend at Alton Park. And I think British GT is at Donington today. A couple of the MRC guys that were just banging on about, they're going down to watch it by the sound of it. Bob, CJW, Dark Smoker and maybe Neville. By the sound of it, they're meeting up to watch a bit of real life motorsport at Donington today. So I hope it's good weather for you and you enjoy it, boys. And yeah, all the domestic series start to be kicking off, and it's a bit of a different season for all the motorsport fans because everything's packed in so tightly. So it's literally one race weekend after another. There seems to be things going on. I've got TC set to 6 out of 8, so that's not ideal, but won't worry about that. Like I say, we're just messing about really, not after serious lap times, and we're just after a bit of fun and a bit of decent racing. This car's terrible for its view. I might change it to bonnet cam instead. Can't see anything out of the left hand side because of the side pillar and the roll cage. So we're actually going to get to the rolling start at some kind of speed this time.
Green light, he was okay.
Ah, green light when I was on the brakes. God damn. Can we open up a line into T1? Oh no, oh, now that's avoiding action, as if I missed everyone then, and kept it in a straight line. Woohoo, that was close. It caught me out a little bit, I broke, well I probably didn't brake early, but it felt like the guy in front of me broke a little bit early there, caught me out a little bit. But we managed to avoid it with some dramatic avoiding action. Nearly broke my wrist. Someone round the outside of me on the left. Not too bad a start. I've got the run on him, but he's got the inside for the next one, so I need to pull across to the inside to block his line and take the corner. And there we are, we're ahead into P9. Nice, not too bad. Started in 13th again, so maybe that 5% I've changed the AI has made quite a bit of difference actually. We'll have to fiddle about with it and tweak it till it feels about right. On 95, it feels good. The cars are good. The competition's fast, but it almost seems like unless you practice that track a lot in the car that you want to drive, then you've got no chance of actually having a good race. So they're just going to drive away from you. So this is a little bit of an issue with this game, and I wouldn't say it's really an issue, but is that you've really got to actually get used to the tracks and practice to get some kind of lap times out of it. You can't just jump on and be good straight away, which you can on other games. Quite frankly, like Gran Turismo Sport, you can jump on that, you can do a really good lap within like 2 laps, no problem. It's not that hard. Whereas this, it really got to find where you're losing the speed and really try and push and make it work for the next lap, and then try not run it too wide and all the rest of it. It seems really difficult, but really rewarding for it as well. Following a nice Aston Martin, I think it is. Oh no, it isn't, in Bentley. That's how good the graphics are. Looks to be floating as well, don't look like it's got any rear wheels. Oh, that's late on the brakes. Heavy on the brakes. Just about managed to get it stopped. Nearly broke my back by pushing myself back into my seat so heavily. Load cell brakes, that's what you have to do. You have to push them hard rather than the distance that it travels. It's more about the pressure that you put on the brake, on the load cell. That's basically what the load cell means. It measures the load that you're putting into the brake pedal and works in that way. So it applies the load you're putting into the pedal into the game, rather than just a potential. I always say it wrong, but a potentiometer, is that how you say it? A whatever it is. The pedals you get with most wheels are standard, aren't load cell, and they work on the amount that you actually push the pedal, the distance that the pedal travels. That's the big difference between a load cell and potentiometer, I'm going to call it, even though I've got a feeling that's wrong. But yeah, that's what it means. Let's gain some time here. Come on. One thing that strikes me straight away about this Nürburgring track, I've been on it before this stream right now, but I've only done about 5 laps, is it's so much more detailed compared to, again, other games that I've played this track on. It's just, the last chicane's different for a start. This is more the Nordschleife 24-hour layout chicane to lead you onto the Nordschleife to the left there, but this time we're on the Nürburg, so we're going to the right. But the last chicane's a lot better being like that rather than the tight version. One thing I'm noticing about this Lambo, does not want to stop that easily, really.
Clear on the right.
Compared to the Bentley I've driven quite a lot. And even that Ferrari we were just in for the last race. Yeah, maybe I'm just leaving it a little bit too late, but this Lamborghini does not want to stop, it seems. I do love Nürburgring, it's a good track. I wish they'd put Nordschleife into this game. What an experience it'd be on this game. It's good enough on other games, but Jesus Christ, it would really feel like you're driving around it. And if you could get round a lap of Nordschleife without building up a sweat, then you're some kind of legend in my eyes, because it would be hard work. Come on, I need to catch this car in front. Is it a GTR? Is it a Ferrari? I can't quite see too far back. In 8th position at the moment. Let's see if we can get into 7th or even 6th before the end of the race. I've only got it on 10-minute races. Oh, nearly lost the rear there. Massive correction, soaring at the wheel to get it back. But yeah, they're only 10-minute races, so I ain't given myself the most amount of time to claw that back. But we'll see how we go. I feel like I'm gaining time through the beginning part of the track, and then towards the middle I'm losing it all, and then regain a little bit of the end section here. I do like this Lambo, it feels good. I was expecting the rear to rotate a little bit on me then, because I had a little bit too much throttle input whilst I was turning around that last corner, but it didn't, it stuck quite nicely actually, and maybe you can drive it a bit more aggressively than I am doing. I'm expecting it to want to kick out on me and go on me, and quite possibly it wouldn't do, and I could get an extra bit of speed out of it really, and a little bit more time. So it's bunching up a little bit in front. Hopefully they'll bunch it is a GTR, the GTR back into me. That'd be nice for another overtake. Yeah, another thing that they're not like talking about the MRC GTTCC and GTTCC, but I haven't even mentioned the new rules. I don't know how that slipped my mind, but yeah, this time, normally on seasons gone by, in season 12 anyway, there was a stipulation where you had to pick 2 Group 4 cars. So everyone went their own way, did a little bit of testing and came up with their own idea of what was a good set of cars for the season. Obviously opinions differ, so there was a good selection between the groups of different cars being used. But this current season, I better am I going to be able to? Yeah, he's letting me go. Yeah, but this season they've changed it up, and I really like the idea of it actually. It sounds like it's a really good idea. I think it adds a new element to it as well, keeps it fresh for those guys that have been in it for quite a long time, maybe the 5th, 6th season. Basically they've introduced a one-make race into it, so the first race every week is going to be a one-make race for everyone in the Ferrari 458 GT3, or is it the 488, whichever one it is, the Ferrari Group 4, and it should make for some really good racing because there's no setup on. So you can pick your tyres, which everyone's obviously going to be on the super soft tyre more often than not, or maybe the soft, depending on how they drive. And then there's no, I think there is fuel on, but everyone's obviously got the same issue with fuel, being a one-make race. And then there's no, like I said, there's no tuning or setup on, so it should be pretty much the closest we've ever had in the GTTCC, in the MRC, of, look at the terrible graphics, the wheels aren't even touching the floor on that Lexus in front. It should be some of the closest racing we've ever had, because we've never had a one-make race in the full-on championship, so it should be really good, because obviously it's just down to driver basically. There's not a lot of difference other than the brake balance and the traction control that you can change. But other than that, there's not going to be a great deal of difference between the cars. It is literally going to be who can drive this car the fastest around this track every week. So it should make for some really interesting racing, some really good qualifying sessions as well, no doubt. Because we're all going to have to qualify in the Ferrari as well. And yeah, it should keep it really nice and close. Obviously, the second race of every week is the one that's actually preferred car, or the car that we actually get to pick ourselves, a better way of putting it. And
it's finished the race.
Well, that's it, it's finished. Oh, we're just getting into that. And yeah, so that should be good as well, because everyone will obviously have their own opinion of what's fast. There'll be different cars on the grid, but it'll all be determined, because the second race every week is always a reverse grid race. So the second grid will be determined from the race result, get my words out, from the race results from race 1 every week, which is always going to be in the one-make Ferrari. So basically it's going to be really close to try and get a good position for race 2 as well, or obviously a bad position. If you win race 1, you start right at the back in race 2, for example. So but I think we're all being in a one-make race, it'll keep the field a lot closer, so it means that potentially, anyway, this is the way I'm seeing it play out, potentially a lot more people could win the first race than possibly they could have done if they'd have picked their own cars. So it means it's going to be a little bit more unpredictable and a bit more open for a lot of people to get podiums and then get a bit out of order maybe in the grid position for race 2. So it should make for some really interesting race 2s, is what I'm trying to say in about 1,000 words. Just finished my dissertation of what I'm on about. But yeah, it should be quite interesting for race 2 because of that. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I don't know if anyone else is picking the opposite. It might be a bit boring or what, but I'm visualising it as quite a good thing for that as well. Not just because we're having a bit of a fresh start to the season and it's going to be a bit different, but actually for race 2 and the effect on race 2 and its grid should be quite interesting as well. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a good championship and a really good idea from the admin, from the MRC boys. More often than not, Dennis Short and his team of helpers. Pretty much the legend that runs the MRC. But yeah, I think they've gone a really good way this time. I think a lot of people will really enjoy it, and then 2, I think it'll build popularity again. Even though Gran Turismo is dying off a little bit as a game, and not that many people are playing it now, I think it'll boost its popularity in that way, because people will want to come back just to race in that again, even if it is 6 months after the new games come out or no one's playing Gran Turismo anymore. So it'd be quite interesting. Oh, excuse me. Right, the Lamborghini felt good there. GT Delibili were there, I was chatting to him, and he recommended trying the Lexus, so I'm going to give the Lexus a go. I'm yet to try the Lexus. I'm yet to actually try a lot of these cars. So we'll give the Lexus a go, and we'll go for another 10-minute race, starting in 13th, just like we have done already. Where do we go? Where do we go? I'm tempted to go to Bathurst, but I know I'm going to be hitting every wall going if I go there. I've been to Barcelona, just done Nürburgring, Hungaroring. I always have to kind of remember it. I don't know it perfectly. Paul Ricard, no, the worst track in the world. Misano. Let's go. Let's go nice, simple Monza. I like a bit of Monza. In my opinion as well, one of the easiest tracks out there. Straight chicane, straight chicane, straight chicane. Pretty much. A couple of left rights in between. So yeah, if you're watching this and... oh, where's my phone charger? If you're watching this and you want to message me or anything, feel free to message me. If you're watching this after the stream and you're watching it back, feel free to contact me on Facebook. Let me know what you're thinking about the MRC Championship. Let me know what you think about this game as well. Is it still broken? Does it work for you online? Because it doesn't for me. I get chucked out every single time and I'm getting sick of trying now. So that's why you've never seen me online yet in this game. I would love to join a couple of lobbies and have a couple of races, but it seems impossible at the moment still. So I'm not sure how everyone else has managed it, because I've read quite a few messages. People have been racing online and all the rest of it. So you might have to help me out with that. And feel free basically to send me a message about anything. Hopefully you enjoy this bit of content. Like I say, not the most exciting. I'm not giving you any information that you probably don't know. I'm no setup work going on, so it's just a bit of racing, hopefully a bit of light entertainment, and hopefully you find it entertaining enough, because I know I'm not the best in the world, but I'm certainly not the worst. So we're in the Lexus for the first time ever. I've never driven this Lexus before, ever. So we'll see how we go. I've no idea where to brake for T1, but luckily we're at Monza. We'll just use the car in front for our brakes. We'll try not to, but it is a possibility at Monza, as always. Oh, let's get a better start this time. I always mess up the start.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Oh, sounds beastly. Oh, it sounds good.
Clear on the right.
Can I cut across? Can I cut across? Just looking for the inside line, easing off.
Clear on the left.
Bit of lift and coast there, lifted early just to get over the brake, ready for all the cars to slow down in front. Oh my god, we're just stopping to the chicane. It's to my left, got to give a bit of room.
Clear on the left.
Well, that felt clumsy and slow. Oh, this Lexus sounds awesome. I thought the Ferrari sounded good. Oh, he's pushing me, not leaving me much room.
Clear on the right.
Okay, the Lexus has the brakes to stop, no problem. I love the way that they've got, oh god, got the sound so good in this game. There's one car I've come across that I don't particularly like the sound of, and that's the Porsche. It's got a real horrible whine to it when you get up high in the revs. I think it must be the turbo or something, but it sounds horrible when it's high up.
Clear on the left.
Yeah, high up in the revs, just about getting my nose ahead to be able to pull in and try and hit the apex of the Ascari chicane. Heading towards Parabolica for the first time, up into 10th position. Started in 13th, gained 3 places. And looks like there's a bit of a battle going on in front into Parabolica. So let's head for the inside line. The Lamborghini in front holding the Ferrari to the outside. Means that I might get a chance to run down the inside as well. Oh, this Lexus is good. I like it. Basically, I judge a car and I don't really think how it feels. I think I've just driven around quite easily. I've never driven this car before, so that to me tells me, oh my god, oh my god. Oops. So that tells me it's quite easy to drive basically. There's not that much difficulty to it. because I've just driven a lap easily without even learning how to drive the car. It's just a pick up and go kind of car, as I call it. So I've actually gained a few positions from my ploughing someone into the shadow realm there. I think it was an R8 I went into the back of. Oh no, there's my comeuppance. There we go. What, spun myself. Come on, come on, come on. Block the R8. Yes, I'm not last. Oh, I'm last now though. Woohoo! What did I say about Monza being easy? Again, if you didn't catch right at the beginning of the stream, just I did apologise. Oh my god, I apologise because I haven't really been around much recently. So if you do enjoy watching my videos, I know there's not many of you out there that tune in every week or anything, but for those that do, thank you very much. I do apologise, I haven't been around much recently, but just got a kid on the way, so, and it's not far off at all. So just trying to get things ready and get prepared and get the room ready and everything like that. Being busy, man. So don't worry, I'm not dead. I am still around. Just been chilling out a lot more, not doing as much racing, not dedicating every night of the week to some kind of racing like I used to do. So been quite nice actually as well. I tell you what, it actually makes it a little bit more exciting when you do jump on and have a race. It might not be as good as it used to be, but that'll come back in no time. It's a lot more exciting when you haven't had a race for a couple of weeks and then you jump on. It seems really good fun. Whereas when I used to do it all the time, I maybe took it a little bit too seriously and it lost the fun element for me. I was always looking for the results instead. I was always a bit disappointed if I didn't get the result I was after, and struggled to see the fun in it anymore almost. But that's just purely because you get so competitive with yourself and the other people that you're racing against that you start beating yourself up for like the tiniest mistakes, and all of a sudden it quickly takes the fun out of it, and you're just looking to improve and get faster lap times, and you forget why you start doing all this in the first place, just to have a bit of fun with your mates. So let's get the Ascari chicane right this time. In 19th position, completely messed up this race, but we can still have a good time in the Lexus. Oh, missed it again. So I'm going too fast into there, or I'm expecting the Lexus to have a bit more front end grip than it's giving me. I think I'm going too fast, to be fair. Parabolica. The corner you can take a million different ways. You can stick to the inside, go out wide, you can go for a late apex, cut back to the inside on the exit. Really loads of different ways you can take that corner. And a really good overtaking opportunity when you're actually racing side by side with someone. So yet to actually really get to grips with the braking zone into T1, I'm just using the changing tarmac where it goes a lot darker, because you can see a lot of cars have actually started braking at that point. So I'm just using that rather than an actual precise braking marker to give me some kind of idea where to brake in this Lexus. Again here, no idea, so I'm not looking at the signs on the right hand side, I'm just looking at the floor to see where the rubber's been laid down in the braking zone basically, and brake where they brake. Where you can see the rubber change from light grey to dark grey. That's all the rubber, all the dark grey that's been put down on the track. If you've ever been to a real life racing track, which I imagine a lot of you have, you can see it massively. You can see the rubber on the track, you can see all the marbles at the side, which I always talk about in F1, and it's amazing how much rubber comes off these tyres when you're racing. Obviously they're not like your road tyres, don't quite happen the same on your road car, but these tyres might only last like 20 laps and then they put them in the bin. So they wear really quickly, but because of that, the surface disappears really quickly, and that's why you get all the marbles and everything at the side of the track, especially in the corners where you're putting a lot of load through the tyres for a sustained amount of time. Oh, look at me, getting all technical. I'll keep it boring. What am I trying to say? I try and be interested, but it always feels like it comes across as boring when I get all technical and waffly on. Plus I don't really know what I'm on about, so probably sound like an idiot as well. Right, we've actually got a chance of catching this Bentley in front now. Let's give it a go. Let's have a good lap. Should have been in first gear coming out of there, bogged down massively, not using the gears right. Lost a lot of time coming out of the first chicane there. And that's purely because I was in second rather than first. Traction control on 3 on this car with the aggressive setup. Seems to be the go-to setting when you go to the aggressive setup. There's the traction control on 3. A couple of weeks ago now I did actually turn the traction control off altogether just to see what it was like and if it was actually drivable. It is drivable, but Jesus Christ, it's scary. You've got to be really delicate. You can drive it. I wouldn't want to do it in wet weather conditions, definitely traction control in the wet, but you can do it, but it's a challenge to not spin your car every corner in the dry with no TC on. Let's go for the overtake into Ascari. Not quite got the pace to get down the inside. Thought I might be able to release the brake there and just slip it down the inside, but I would have just gone into the side of him if I had. So backed out of it, and we'll go for the opportunity into Parabolica instead. The leader's just gone to the final lap, so I'm running out of time to be able to get this move done. There we go, late on the brakes, down the inside into Parabolica, take the apex off the Bentley so he can't get back to the apex. Hold the apex, don't run it out wide on the exit because he just get the undercut, and there we go, up into 18th place. Woo! A little bit of racecraft there as well. Like I say, I went early to the apex there, got stuck in down the inside, but I could have accelerated earlier than I did, pushed it out wide on the exit, but then the Bentley behind probably would have had the chance for an undercut. So a little bit of racecraft, thinking about what you're doing, how you're going to block the driver behind if he has potentially the speed to get you back. You don't want him to get you back, you don't want to just leave the door open for an overtake to come back at you, so you've got to think, how do I counter that without sacrificing too much time doing it? And that's what I did through Parabolica there, and it worked a treat. So let's see if we can get another one before the end of the race. It's been nice to catch this Ferrari. Can we get it though? We're going to have to get a good exit through the second leg moat. This one coming up. I almost call it a Daytona then. Well, that's Suzuka, is it? Oh, big moment of oversteer to catch. Caught it quite quickly though. Allow me to put my foot straight back down and still stick with this fight. Am I going to be able to get down the inside of Ascari? I've not really got the corner perfectly mastered yet, so I doubt it very much. I'll keep the safe line instead, follow the car through and look for a good exit instead. Back on the power nice and early, cut as much curve as possible to get a good run through the exit, and then we're diving down the inside, ready for a move down into Parabolica. Just talking through what I'm actually kind of thinking whilst I'm racing here. Can we get two? No, he's dived to the inside nice and early, the Lexus blocked me, but we've got the Ferrari behind. And we've made it back up into 17th place in the end. Can we get one more before the line? I doubt it very much. We're in the same car. And there we go. So 17th in the end. Could be a fun that. Could be a fun. Right, I'm pretty much going to leave it there. I've waffled on for long enough. I've covered pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Thank you for joining me. Again, apologies for those that might have become familiar with my videos and used to seeing them every week. I've been slacking, so I do apologise for that, but I will try my best to get as much content out there as possible in the coming months as I adjust to life with a baby. But yeah, oh, look at these overtakes now around the outside through the Curva Grande. Oh, this guy's a legend. Untouchable. Finds a grip that no one else could find. Oh. Anyway, I'll stop pretending I'm good. You can see that I finished in 17th, so it's pretty hard to disguise. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to pretty much leave it there. Bye for now. Take care, look after yourselves, and if I don't see you before, I will see you on track in the MRC League. Bye bye bye. Have a good day.